we had all these drone strikes during the War on Terror, which killed wedding goers and people herding animals in the desert, innocents, and so on. Now all that can be shifted to the AI. Everything in warfare that doesn't go well is potentially the problem of the computer, not the person now. So I guess I saw preliminary ass covering that might come in useful later.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. People take a perverse pleasure in this stuff, and why would they leak it out? It does feel a little bit odd. But when I first saw this, I instantly recalled I did a story a long time ago about drone attacks, and I remembered that the military had released a very strange detail as part of a story that was given to the Washington Post, I believe in 2012, where the headline of that story was "Remote U.S. Base at Core of Secret Operations." And this was about a drone base in Djibouti. And there was this very strange passage in the very middle of that article that it goes like this. In March of 2011, a Predator parked at the camp started its engine without any human direction, even though the ignition had been turned off and the fuel lines closed. Technicians concluded that a software bug had infected the, quote, brains of the drone, but it never pinpointed the problem. Quote, after that whole starting itself incident, we were fairly wary of the aircraft and watched it pretty closely, an unnamed Air Force squadron commander testified to an investigative board, according to a transcript. Right now, I think the software is not good. So again, that's super interesting, but somebody had to tip off, I think, that reporter to the existence of that piece of testimony, and just that detail is a little bit strange to allow out to the public. So the idea that Predator drones or Reaper drones are maybe trying to get onto the runway by themselves, I wonder if we're going to start getting stories like that too.
Well, as any listener to this show knows, I cultivate a paranoid garden in the back of my head. And I try not to let it into the front of my head too often, but worst case scenarios always appeal to fiction writers such as me. And as I say, one of the problems with drones has been when they do something, when they do something bad, when they blow up a wedding or a school, their movements can always be traced back to a human operator. But this new emphasis on AI, it looks more and more to me like excuse number 3 that can be used in the case of a disaster. It took over. I'm sorry. Usually it doesn't do this. It only does this 1 in 100,000 times, but this time it happened.